Very good evening, everybody. You're welcome tonight. Like I've said, if you're joining us, said by 8, by 9 p.m., we're going to be connecting to BEKENET software, especially those of us who have been um, looking forward to see how to make use of BEKENET software to maximize trading and all of that. Okay. Now, market have been a little bit choppy, and of course, let's look at Bitcoin. Right. Look at Bitcoin. We saw this region I mentioned last week, that unless and if we break this point, though we're bullish, right? But if we don't break this point, it's somehow dangerous, okay? Because I told us this is like a channel, right? Over here, we turn back here, we got restricted here, and we moved down massively. And then it looks like we're having another restriction here. Now, so this week, what we're looking at, so a Bitcoin could be able to break, but for me, I do not even want Bitcoin to break aggressively so that we are almost getting towards maybe much last move of the altcoin season, okay? Getting into ending of September to October and maybe top of the roof of the whole market. Well, don't say I said it's not official, okay? That I say November is the end of the bull run. I listen to a lot of people who tell me when the bull run comes. When the bull run comes, I laugh, okay? Because I don't know when the bull run is coming. uh, because if a coin has moved, example of Solana has moved from about 12, $11, $17 and get to 200 and something dollars. I don't know what we're going to call it. Maybe it's still not bull anyway. Now, and I've told us that the market as it were. So I'm talking about crypto for now first before going to other general market. Now, so and if Bitcoin could have moved from this session started from $15,000, if I'm not mistaken, and now gradually 20 something thousand, 25,000, and we're still on that same trail and getting to $100,000. And someone will say there was no bull run. I don't know what we're going to call it. I've told us that the bull run of this season was going to be separate. And if it was going to be separate, and so you can agree with me that the dimension at which the market was going to run was quite different from what we used to have. But one of the things is that most time we don't pay attention to details because sometimes we look at it like someone is just talking, okay? And those are the issues. Now, I've told us time without number, and I said market is what it is. What you look for is that you look for a good entry and look for a good exit. And of course, there are some number of tokens you could hold for a period of time. And then when it get to a top of the roof, you sell it off. And then waiting for another session, especially those of us who are buying low to sell high on spot trading. There is nothing wrong with buying low and sell high. If you could be buying stock and hold it for as long as possible, how much more crypto that has some movement as it were. This is not official. Like I've told many of us, I say, please, if you are now forum, always pay attention to information. Let me tell us, a time is going to come, and I've been saying this time without number, that a time is going to come, especially in Nigeria, not even Nigeria, in so many places, but Nigeria in particular. I say time is going to come. The real people in the crypto, even in Forex and all of that, you won't see them outside. In fact, they won't tell you they know about crypto. And I think it's a started unveiling. Look at like the new tax system that the government is proposing, or sorry, passed to law, not proposing, sorry. Okay? Now, so either you like it or not, like I remember when people were shouting, thank God, crypto is done legalized and all of that. I said, the government was not legalizing crypto for your sake. All right. So they were only looking for a way, to catch their own share. So it's not for your own good. That's just the truth. I said, for me, I wouldn't have been in crypto if government have accepted it from the beginning. That's the truth. Because anything that's going to benefit people, government will never support it. That's the truth. Okay. So that by and large, I've told us, I said, so now, so what's going to happen? I'm sorry for some of us who don't know how to make use of DEX, that is decentralized applications. And that's why over time you will see that smartly enough, different exchange platform always have their Web3. Try to have decentralized portal. Binance, all of them have their own Web3 so that people can still have independent place where they can democratize their asset. That's keeping their coin. And I laugh in Swahili when some person tell me, how can I put in my Naira bank account and all of that? Don't worry. A time's going to come. The people who make little will pay more, and people who make more will pay little. I think it's scriptural. So we'll take from those who have less and give to those who have more so that they can have more abundant or more and more. Okay. So this is the point. So what I'm saying is this. If you look at the market, now when I told us the other time that we have gotten the bottom at this point, I mean where the region of market to move up. And now what I'm trying to establish is that the market is not your own property. You only leverage on it. This is about 9 to 10% movement it has done. For people who were doing like leverage, maybe doing future trading on leverage, just to take like 3x or 4x, maximum 5x. I always encourage new members not to do 10x. You will see a lot of people who see 50x. Don't be tempted to follow them. Be careful. There is nobody who is serious with his money that's going to be gambling with it. I'm not saying people are using like 20, 30, 40x gambling, but what you may not understand is that you are going to be using like $500, $1,000 or $2,000. They are going to use $10. So if even $10 is wasted, it's not their business. So why I'm saying this, that time is going to come, you won't have access to quality information. I think there's a country where you can't do free seminar. If you do that, you'll be arrested. So anybody who is going to attend seminar, maybe business seminar and all of that, financial seminar, it must be recorded that they paid. So you may think that, okay, the people that are organizing the seminar, they are in for no. So every event that's happening, government need to have their shares there. So if you are not paying, if they are not paying, how would they pay the tax? I think it's that South Korea. I can't remember. I think I've mentioned it before. If any gathering is formed and they get there and see that it's free, you'll be arrested. The convener will be arrested. That business presentation, you'll be arrested. Now, in Nigeria, it's going to happen. Not that the government will charge you that why do you offer free seminars? A time is gone, they will censor a lot of activities. So some people who just mark it down. Those of you, if you have enough crypto, you wouldn't want anybody to know that you have crypto, even your close friends, so that they will not go and blow whistle on you. Not that it's illegal, but of course they find a way to make sure that, okay, so imagine you have like 100 Bitcoin in your wallet, and now government is not having access to exposing it. The time will come, they will just be tracking your bank account, doing a lot of things, and then quite unfortunately. Okay, let's leave that for a separate place, because I've been saying this time down number, people were not even paying attention. They think that FELIX just meant to talk about whatever. And so this is why I have loved crypto for a very long time, decentralized and all of that. I know, yes, a lot of things will still be happening, but we'll still find knowledge is very important in this space. That's the truth. Okay, so Bitcoin, we're struggling unless if we break it. If we couldn't break this, then we're going to return back down to 112,000 and perhaps we come down to 102,000. But we're able to break it, then we need to do, or we just maintain it sideways from that 117,000 back to 111,000 sideways. If we make sideways, better for us. Why? So the guys that have started taking the lead, which is Mr. Ethereum and BNB, and then Solana, will have more aggressive move. Remember, my target on Solana was $500 for this cycle. And you can see I told us that Solana was supposed to hit up just like what Bitcoin did. Probably, we'll talk about 250 something. It did that, but better still was supposed to be 265 before we can retrace back to the, the range down of the channel, which is about $115, $113, $214, $215 as it were for Ethereum, for Solana. So, but quite unfortunately now Solana is still pointing to head down, probably return back to 226 before making a move. All right. And so, but if Bitcoin aggressively move up, it's going to dump them again, and then we'll have some other tokens. And now, so let's quickly look at DXY. DXY have been finding way. We saw some news that was favorable for DXY last week, and that was enough. That was a good one. And I remember the other week, I told us we're somewhere here, and I told us we're going to return back down here. And that gave a room for people who are trading Euro, USD, and all of that to make a lot of money. And I've told us if you are trading Forex, don't even do so much difficult technical analysis. Upside down of DSY is Euro USD. Very simple. As long as DSY is crashing, then you should enjoy your movement of Euro USD because it's opposite of USD. That's it. So if you can now see that last week, a massive pump in Euro USD, but as this guy got down to the bottom and break. So we're looking at breaking out this point and probably returning back here. That means if that should happen, Euro USD, you still have more selling opportunity. Remember, I told us, I think we're somewhere here, and I said we still got more buy opportunity. And so if we're going to have that in Euro DXY, then you should look at breaking out of this point and hitting down to how many pips are we going to look at for this week on Euro USD? It's going to do the first as up to 119 and perhaps to 303 pips as it were. So if all things being equal, which I know all things will never be equal, okay? So most importantly, what you need to do is that you don't need to overstress yourself in taking advantage of this trade. It's just for you to settle down, pay basic attention. And of course, we saw the movement out of this point last week too. And I said, if we get, I think we have GBP moving more better that last week. And then we saw massive dump on the same GBP. So if you have that Euro DXY, pumping up, we could see GBP return back to this point, come back to sweep this liquidity. And that may not be too much volume of a pip you want to catch, or except you can travel down back to this point. Okay, but for me, I think I'll need to check some of this fundamental later. And so to be targeting 250 pips for GBP USD for selling. Okay. Now, lovely. Gold is a lovely guy. Like I told us, after all this, we're supposed to cover this gap, but unfortunately, gold is what it is. And you see that gold has been leaving a lot of gap behind before now. And of course, when gold is trending, better. So when the gold is trending, it's going to be maintaining a very strong trend because of the season, as it were. Come a time when we're ranging here, and I told us you can only be buying and selling gold. But when we broke out, you could just be buying gold. And that's what it is. So if this can happen, I think we have hit 3,600 or 3,700 for gold. I remember I told us that once we're able to break out of that point, we're going to be looking at $4,000 level for gold. But we have a region to break out of. And that's going to give forecasting to the future to 4,000, and that's going to be 200. Oh, sorry, that will be 2,900 pips to the future. You know what it is. Okay, so but you wouldn't want to look at, so you have to pay much attention to those dimensions I've just mentioned about gold. And so BNB, congratulations. Those of you who have been listening to just basic information. BNB like a play. I remember when I was telling somebody to buy BNB, when it pulled back to $220, and the person was like, oh, it's taking time, it's sluggish. I said, well, you're not going to stay with it. And I said, basically, every coin that are exchange-based tokens, they are meant to be bought. And there you are now. There you are now. You can see BNB now had crossed $1,000, just like a play. Just like a play. All right. Of course, definitely, there are some tokens you buy the rock pool. So it's part of the business. The earlier you understand it, the better. And that's why we talk about diversifications, and so that you will not be heated down, into one area of the market, as it were. Okay. And now, even though you are holding some asset, you still like buy low, sell high of so many assets too. Definitely, there's still some tokens too that the way they will do, they will rock pool. I think I gave some token in the morning or yesterday. They did well. Some did well, some rock pool. Example of it, if was take. Okay, you can see now that take. I bought some last week, but what I noted by people was just to buy on spot and hold, so the case. So maybe you want to pay attention to look at it, because I give it to them on private mentorship, just buy and hold. And except some who want to actually play this on the futures, and that's just buy and hold was take. And then ZKC we bought last week, or that I send it, I kind of. The other one that has actually done was ZKC, so it's another one probably could do over time, probably to do about 100% over time, as it were. That if all things going to be equal, maybe for the next 1 month or so. Okay. Then there are quite a number of tokens that I gave, but I'm not going to give all of them here, so you should understand. Some of them have done well. Ati Mubarak has done well. Excuse me. Okay, Ati Mubarak has done well, and then trying to retrace. That was last week, but I could not actually come up on time to eat. So I think Mubarak, okay, there was a token I was researching on. Okay, this token. Bro. Yeah, so this guy. So maybe after some pullback, he's still gonna have probably a nice move up. That's so if you want to write it down, you can write it down anyway. Will fee. Okay. Yeah. Oh wow. So will fee still continue? So you can write will fee, look at it on the chart. Will fee, wow. For funny enough, I was so busy to finish with it when I was doing my analysis. So will fee broke. So I've talked about 3 coins now, so I'm not going to talk more than that. Take, okay, it's pulling back. Perhaps if you pull back to this point, you can buy, but some of us already bought something. Take, Wilfie, ZKC. So there was one we called last week, and they did well. Towns and one other one, I forgot. Okay, so that's for now. Some of this, sorry, let me just check something real quickly. Ooh, okay. So just get ready. I'll have told us. Time's going to come. You are not going to find quality information, even on the internet. A lot of people will not want to reveal their activities so that government will not disturb them or censor them for whatever thing. And so just get to know that you're going to be meeting a lot of junks. And so real people would not, So, oh, this one, bank. Oh, good. I think it was last week we bought this bank. Yes, bank did well, but towns, yeah, bank. That was bank. Wow, it really pumped before it smoked down again. But I think it still have a long way to go. So I've talked about bank, I've talked about ZKC, I've talked about Take, and then Brookhill 174 and Wilfie. Okay, so let's go. I saw TWT was taking a very nice move today. Oh, this kilo has done some stuff. Wow, I was surprised. TW2 did a lot of, that was since about 3 days ago or something, since on the 15th. I saw some narrative on TWT. That's from, TWT from how much? 82 cents. Okay, I think it's retracing now because from 82 cents, it went up to as high at about 100 and 30 something cent or thereabout. Okay. Um, okay, core, let's look at core. Okay, so maybe there's a new narrative on core. So you may want to pay attention to it. I think this was a coin we mined on one other platform that time. So you may want to look at core. You can add core to it. Core. So let's look at it. Yeah. So I think core is on many exchanges. I think what's the name? Core. It's core now. Yeah. So look at it. So you may want to buy 45 cents. So perhaps, okay. So you may want to buy core. I think I've been on a consistent down. So if you buy core at 45 cents, can do about 70 cents or 60 something cent. That's going to be some money for you if eventually break. So 40, 50% maybe before the end of the month. That's a good one if you eventually bang that level for core. Okay. B3, 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 B3. Let's look at it very quickly because I'm soon wrapping up. So if you are new to our channel, always pay attention to information. The one thing I know and I've observed when it has to do with business opportunity, people listen to what they want to listen to and they hear what they want to hear. And of course, they see what they want to see. All right. And so, and people always take action when they see a lot of testimonies. And but the beautiful side of this space is that we buy the rumor and sell the news. So when the news broke everywhere, if you are coming, you are just going to be the liquidity. Watch and see by the time Bitcoin is going to cross up to $152,000, right? You're going to have a lot of people talking about it. But meanwhile, that's when we're saying bye-bye to the market to start crashing. So that's one of the things. So ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to our forum, what we do is exploring the global financial market, taking advantage of the market activities, the movement, all right? So when we buy low to sell high, and then we swing trade, all right? We buy and hold. And so there are three dimensions to our business. Number one is investing. And our investing is basically buy to hold of some tokens, buy to hold and capital growth on stocks, all right? And then, so there's a massive activities we are now doing now. If you don't know, if you have not registered on Capital Extend, we are doing copy trading and going to help a lot of people. So, but what we want to make our standard minimum is $500 because the $100, $200 have been affecting our activities. We're trying to exercise a lot of caution, so but we can't continue that way. So you have to up your game. Okay. So we have investing, we have investment segment of copy trading. Okay. So simple copy trading is you register, you fund your account, you follow the procedure. I've done a lot of video about that. You follow the procedure, connect your account, simple. But one, it's not a get rich stuff. So some months you could do maybe 5%, 8%, 10%, depending. And that's why I want to cut off some people who are funding with $100 and all of that because it's affecting our activities. So that's a very fantastic segment and all of that. There's a new platform we're partnering with now because they explore a lot of things. It's called Triversity. You must have seen the link on our group. Good thing, I think there's a new review they did. You can sign up and have access to, I think 6 months. Is it 6 month free access? Where do I have it? Okay, maybe later I'll do some video about that. And then there are a whole lot of things too. They have clone trading. They have all of those things on their platform. Now, another thing, those of you who are trading BEKENET software, so what do we call it? A slash subscription is already given. So we've gotten a deal of discount for anybody from our community who have signed up on that Capital Extend or well trade to trade Forex or synthetics. All right. So, but you have access to 1 month free. Those of you who have finished your 1 month free access, you want to subscribe, the window is open. You can subscribe $50 instead of $100 in a month. And then, of course, we'll put you through how to use the software effectively. And that's why one of the things we're going to be doing immediately after this class, the Zoom link was dropped on our group. I think I'll still drop it on the comment section here. So for anyone who probably want to join, so let me take it. Okay. So let me take it. I'm going to send the group here. Okay. On the comment section, probably you're going to see it. Okay. So market is a little bit dicey, right? And so, but never mind. Let me take it. I'm going to send to the group. Can I find this? Yes, this. Okay, I'm going to send to the chat. So that's the link for the BEKENET software. I'm sure if you're in our group, you will find the link that I've sent there on our group. So ladies and gentlemen, so that's why we always encourage people to pay attention to simple instruction. Okay, I think I've even sent signal on Solana too. If Solana is eventually breaking out this week, then it's going to be massive. Watch and see. It's going to be massive. But if we're unfortunately unable to, then we will have it nosedive to our next term. But if it's able to, then it's going to be aggressive and a lot. And I always tell people the best time to buy an asset is when it's silent. Okay, so those of us in trading Forex, I told you, you can see Euro USD because of that last week, rock marking down. And then if we have the DXY to continue uptrend, all right, if you continue uptrend to return back to this point, then you should be looking for selling opportunity, maybe for a long time or for a short time, probably to all and reap all of this liquidity below here. And that's a good money for you. All right. So, but the last week, it was making move down and all of that. So if you have signed up with us on the Captex 10, remember, once you sign up and fund your account with a minimum of $100, you have access to basic information and training to be taking signal on our forum, and it's free for you. Okay. So then I think I forgot. So some stock nos dive last week. Okay, I think somebody bought, was it Sterling Bank or which of the bank that somebody bought last 2 months or so at about $6 or 6 naira. And I was talking about NEO. I said NEO last week. NEO was, I told us I bought more NEO at $3 and $5. And last week we're at about how much? About 5 point something to $6. That's new, right? Last week somebody was showing me, wow, so can you see new? Yeah, something like that. Okay, yeah. So I think last week we're somewhere down here at about 5 point something dollars. And so you can see new now, it's making move gradually. Man, that's whooping 30%. My goodness. I didn't even know, right? So this was a stock I traded. So imagine how this stock crashed down. Yes. So look at it. To $3. Now, guess what? I traded this stock in 2019. All right. I traded this stock in 2019. It's a New York Stock Exchange listed. So it's listed NYC. And then it's a Chinese stock that is doing similar thing to Tesla, right? And so there was a kind of trade war, I think was, and during that, after COVID-19, after 2020, 2021. So in 2019, I bought it at about 2 point something dollars to $3 and right it up to 2020 and 2021 beginning, and that gave about $63 per one of the stock. So I sold at $63 per stock, and it virtually went all-time high of $67. Since then, we still bought back last year or 2023. Or yeah, 2023, and the price we expected the market to return back to $21 because we bought at $9, $10, $12. And then we expect the movement to $22. So it actually got to $16, right? And we're happy. And after the trade war, the market kept crashing. And you can imagine. So when it crashed down to $3, I bought some. I kept talking about it. So imagine if you have maybe you can be like somebody who is maybe not intelligent. So because Felix is telling you buy, is it not that anyone who is intelligent will he listen to Felix? Why would I be buying something that has not pulled? But that was just April here, right? And from April to now, that's 122%, right? And I think this is the bottom to our next thing. Though still have some level of resistance up there. So remember I told you we bought some at $12 and all of that. So that's what it is, okay? This guy ought to have done massive, but I think there's so many kind of situation in Vida, and then if not, we ought to have been at $250 by now. I told you, I've been talking about this stock for a very long time, and even as at the same April was about $86. And the last time I talked about it before it got to $86 was seated at $57 for a very long time. Okay, so you can imagine that from this. So, and this is a tech stock, all right? So that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. And so please don't play. We have so many opportunity for you. I think I'm going to do a comprehensive kind of a segment by segment for spread and diversification of your business opportunity in terms of passive income, which is investing into buying and holding some stocks or crypto, land banking, and all of that. Then the copy trading we have right now. We have copy trading with us in Capital Extend. And then there are some segments on the Tradeversity. I was just telling us that they connect with other broker to clone trading and all of that. Okay. And then so spreading tentacles and to be able to work out your strategy. And now for some of us, you don't know where to start, you don't have money and all of that. You are above 18 years, you register on Capital Extend. We can help you to meet with the management to be an affiliate with them and then market their services and all of that. You get paid and then you can make money to now start investing as you want and all of that. So there are a whole lot of things that are available for us to maximize. Okay. So thank you very much, everyone. Tonight we are done. And so get connected to the BEKENET software so that you can learn and ask questions where you need to be clarified. So my name is Midas Faljima. I'm telling you of the Planbxpr. Planbxpr, together we rise. Thank you.